Welcome back to Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. Join us as we venture year-round into the fog.
Make sure you give us a like and a follow on your podcast platform of choice. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube page where we upload every episode in its video format, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Make sure you're following us on social media to keep up to date with our newest haunted content.
I'm Nick.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Jamie.
Happy Premium Scream Night and one day until we are back in the fog. That's right, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the big day, Friday, opening day. Some refer to it as the Met Gala of Orlando, the HHN Met Gala, if you will. We will be there. We will be in the fog. We are going to be there all weekend long. I cannot wait. We are towards the end of our podathon. We are so close to the finish line. I could see it. Tomorrow's a big one, but today is an even bigger one because this is the one everyone's looking forward to, for our end at least. And that is, of course, our Fear and Beer hype lists. That's right, we're ranking all of the zones, the street experiences, the shows, the houses, and we're even going to bring you some food items. We're not going to rank every food and drink item. I don't even know how much into the drinks we're going to get just because the menus did pop up a little bit later. So we're kind of just picking 5 food items that we're very excited for. I didn't even put them in any particular order. I just think it's fun to at least mention some and see if we have our interests aligned when it comes to the culinary palette of Horror Nights. But yeah, this is it. This is the hype list episode. Is everyone ready for the hype list? We all hyped up?
We're hyped up.
Doesn't sound too hyped up. Sounds more tired
we're
than
hyped
anything.
Up. Woo! I'm actually up. I've had a cleaning spurt of energy, so really got me going at this time of recording. A cleaning day, if you will. Yeah. Feeling productive.
Yes. Spoiler alert, we are recording this before our Family Feud event on Wednesday, so it happened last night. I hope it went great. I hope everybody had a great time.
I hope you all enjoyed yourselves.
The podcasters took it home, and that's all we have to say about it because that's all we know at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you put so much faith in me, and I didn't believe it. But hey, look, we made you proud.
Sometimes that's all you need is just a little bit of faith. All right. Well, as far as other events,
sorry,
gotta have faith. The other events that we do have coming up, Saturday, September 5th, you can head over to Toll Road Brewing in Ocoee. That is the release date of our See You in the Fog 2026. It's going to be a very, very tasty New England beer. I got a little update on the brewing of it, and I'm excited to taste it. The following week, Saturday, September 12th, also head over to Toll Road Brewing once again. This is when they are going to be doing their Spooky Flight Day. What this is a flight of beers, 4 of them, which are all going to be paired up with Halloween candies. So come on down, buy a flight. Every flight that you purchase gets you a raffle ticket towards a $150 Universal gift card. And I believe, I've said this on all of them, but I believe the See You in the Fog, our beer, is actually going to be one of the beers that is treated for this Halloween candy mashup. So I'm curious.
So exciting.
I know. I don't know what they're going to pair it with. Hopefully candy corn. Everyone hates it. I love it.
I love candy corn.
Oh, do
I
you?
like candy corn. Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
who eats candy corn?
Waxy
Right here.
goodness.
Yeah, everyone hates
And a
all
little-
my candy selection.
And little pumpkins.
The pumpkins are a little heavy, but that's fine.
You could
They're
only
a
have a
little
few.
much to chew through. Yeah, at least the candy corn's like bite-sized. I feel like the pumpkin's a meal, for Christ's
The
sake.
chocolate candy corns? Come on.
This is true.
Those are good.
All right. Let's meander
Enough
our way
candy
into
talk.
it a little bit. Enough candy talk. I'm getting hungry. Speaking of beer, I do have a beer. I didn't really look it up too much, but this is 3 Floyd's Zombie Dust. It's an undead pale ale. I thought it looked
Zombie
pretty
Dust. Zombie Dust
Yeah.
it's the shit.
cool. Little
That
can
does
art
look
looked
cool.
pretty creepy and cool. This was picked up from Half Barrel Beer Project, and this is brewed by 3 Floyd's Brewing in Munster, Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Paused up. I forgot what
Indiana.
IN stood for. I was like, Indianapolis. That's a city.
Indianapolis. That's what I would thought
That's
first.
a city.
Indianapolis.
Close.
What the hell? All right, let me pour this out. We can get into this. Jamie, why don't you start us off then? Why don't we kind of
Me?
round table? Let's each
Fun.
give. Well, this is food. We're going to go through our food items. So you
Okay,
start us
cool.
off, and we'll just we'll go Jamie, Seamus, me, and we'll just kind of keep the circle going. We'll do one food item at a time and kind of move along, and
Yeah.
that way we don't have to spend too much time if somebody already mentioned one particular item, but I think there's one on here that only I'm going to be interested in.
Yeah, maybe me too. And I'll go with that one first. And my first item is going to be the vegan pizza skull. All these nights, all my friends get to enjoy these delicious looking pizza skulls. And unfortunately, I can't indulge in it because I don't eat meat and there's no way to get it without the meat. But this year, we have a bright green vegan pizza skull.
I didn't even see that one.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's bright green. It's actually really fun looking, very fitting for the event. But it's got like vegan mozzarella cheese in it, the pizza sauce, and then I think it's vegan sausage if I'm not mistaken. But I am excited to get multiple of these throughout the season, bop around with my vegan pizza skull. And yeah, I think it's really fun that they have this offering now. I was seeing people saying that this would be replacing the original pizza skull, but I don't think that would be the case. I think they would have this as another option kind of right there where they have the Killer Clown Zone, kind of that little food booth across the Jimmy Fallon ride that's there like permanently. That's where they usually have the pizza skulls. And I think it's just going to be an offering alongside the original one. But I could be mistaken. If so, I think that would be a mistake on their part because plenty of other people enjoy eating the regular pizza skull too. So I don't see why they wouldn't keep both.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Millie agrees.
Millie is
Thank
ready
you, Millie.
for the vegan pizza skulls.
At least someone's excited for it.
The green pizza skulls.
The green pizza skull. Well, so who's next then? Nick or Seamus?
Do you want us to go through one at a time, or do you want to just go through your 5 items and then go to the next person?
We'll do one at a time.
All right. Well, then
we'll go round table.
I can go. And mine are in no particular order. I don't know if Jamie mentioned that, but I didn't really rank them. I just picked 5 that I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. So my first one's going to be the Twisted Philly over at Funny Fair. It's a Philly steak stromboli topped with spicy Italian sausage, peppers, onions, and cheese sauce. And it just sounds like heart-stoppingly amazing, and I cannot wait to have it. Now, I'm sorry, Jamie, you can't indulge because it's got lots of good old meat in it, but it does look friggin' incredible. So I am ready to...
It's right up Nick's alley, too.
Oh,
that was
all I was
on
going to
my
say.
list.
All right, good, because I'm going to destroy this thing.
It was first on my list. Everything Seamus had mentioned, I will second that as well. I'm excited for it.
Ruin it, and it's going to ruin me, and it's going to be a lovely symbiotic relationship, and I cannot wait.
Which bathroom is closest located to this food stand?
I don't know. I don't even know where this food stand is, but I'm assuming somewhere in the clown area. So that one over by Jimmy Fallon is going to be
used and abused,
as far as I'm concerned. Figuratively, like blown up with my waist,
with the Philly,
not to make everybody sick.
It's going to be twisted,
but it's going to be twisted.
Well, so Twisted Philly was first on my list, so I'll just kind of skip my round. So
you could go for another one if you want, Nick. Since you didn't really just discuss one.
Whenever we get to the end, I guess we get to the end.
We get to the end.
The other one that I had on my list after that was the Carnival Smash Tacos. Looks pretty wild. So it's a cheeseburger taco. So it's like a smash burger. There's American cheese, lettuce, pickles, secret sauce, and then toasted sesame seeds. I have to find. Oh God, I already lost the picture. But
oh God,
I have just quickly glanced over these food menus, so I don't know everything. I'm curious if it's in a taco or if the meat is the taco.
No, it's definitely
it's like an open faced taco. It looks like
it's a taco. It definitely they use some sort of either pita bread or some sort of taco tortilla or something like that. But yeah, this is also my list, Nick. So
okay, all right,
I'm with you on that one. This one also looks like I'm going to ruin.
Yeah, it kind of looks like
our friends. This kid's disgusting.
Be like, I can't wait in line, guys. I'm going to shit my pants in about 5 seconds.
It's hard to see it on the screen.
I can't do Hellraiser right now. I'm going to go raise some hell in the fucking bathroom.
The bathroom's going to look like Hellraiser after I'm done with it.
It's like instead of Frank being on the wall being like, save me, I'm in hell. It's like me, like, save me, I'm in Jimmy Fallon bathroom again.
Sorry, Jimmy.
What a way to kick off this episode.
No,
you never know what you're going to get here. You never know.
We're just going to have a gross food episode, a gross bathroom episode now.
Again, just like the man slop sandwich or whatever it was called.
Oh, God.
But what I was
going to say
is that it's like a tostada, so it's like an open face style taco.
Okay.
So it might be like a hard shell, but I'm not really sure.
Something like that.
What I am happy about is they definitely went for this like fair food aesthetic. And I'm all about that. I mean, I'm going to gain 30 pounds instead of 20 pounds this year now. Like,
I mean, they could have deep fried it all, so I guess we're lucky there.
Yeah. So, all right, Jamie, what do you have on your list next?
Well, nothing crazy and disgusting, so don't worry, guys. Unless you don't like seafood or shellfish. So I have up next the Deathbringer Tempura Shrimp. How exciting. First time having sushi at the event. It is crispy shrimp tempura roll with sriracha mayo and eel sauce. Looks like it's on a stick.
Ugh.
Again, Nick going with that fair food kind of dealio. As you all know, I don't eat meat. I recently started eating seafood again about 2 years ago, so I'd call myself pescatarian, I guess you could say. I dabble in it every now and again, but I do enjoy shrimp every here and there. So I am very excited to try this. I look forward to it. I was watching some of the YouTube videos from some of the creators who went to like the food event, and it was really cool because some of the chefs, I guess, or the people who created the food for HHN, based some of these items off of their trip to Japan they went to earlier in the year, they said. So it's really cool to see them being creative with some of the food and something we haven't seen before. But yeah, this is in Gramercy Park, which I can't really tell where. I haven't been to the park and looked at all the signs in previous times when they came out, so I'm not really sure where that's at. Is it maybe across from Transformers somewhere?
Yeah, I haven't. I don't remember where these booths are. I just had the pictures of the menu, so I'm kind of going off of that.
Exactly, yeah.
Y'all can keep that.
I'm not a shrimp person either. I will not be getting this one.
I'm not a seafood at all person.
Yeah.
But
the two boys from New England. Eel sauce, Seamus.
Eel sauce?
You silly goose. It's kind of like a sweet soy sauce, but it's a little bit thicker. Kind of like a teriyaki, I guess, consistency.
So it's not made of eel. It's just called eel sauce.
Not necessarily. I don't think it's a straight up. It doesn't taste like eel, no.
I've never had eel. Don't plan on ever having eel. But if you wanted me to eat it, don't call it eel sauce.
My seafood adventure does not include eel or raw fish, unfortunately, so I have not dabbled in that as well.
I'm good, but y'all enjoy that. I'm sure it's going to be great if you like it. But
I'm pretty excited.
Not for me. So since Nick covered the tacos, because that was my next thing on the list, I'm going to go to the fried pickles. Classic. Love fried pickles. Loved the Fallout ones last year. I don't know if these ones have anything in it, like, because last year they were fried pickles with the it
was like the buffalo
chicken, right? Yeah. So these look like they're just pickle spears with sriracha aioli. So pickles and sriracha, hell yeah, I'm down. Again, something that's going to absolutely destroy my insides, but hey, you only live once, right?
I had this one on mine too, the fried pickles. They look really good.
I love fried pickles.
They're not serving them with the buffalo chicken dip this year, so I don't feel like I'd be wasting it to just get the pickles from last year when they did it.
Now, the only issue that could occur with these is that the pickle spears tend to not deep fry as well.
A little soggy.
Yeah, and it's not just that they're soggy. It's like you bite out of it and then you take the whole damn pickle out of the breading, whereas the chips don't tend to do that as bad. But then again, this is everywhere. It's not just Universal, so it's not like I'm targeting Universal specifically. But as long as they deep fry them right, so they don't do that, there's a little bit of a crisp to it. I'm excited, but there is a chance they could disappoint.
And the thing with the pickles too, it looks like the sriracha from the picture that the sriracha aioli is like drizzled on there. For all you sauce fanatics out there like me, I know for sure you may nicely ask whoever's working the food booth for a side of sauce for a little dip action with the pickle, which I know I probably will be doing.
I like a little dip action, just saying.
Because I don't really like pickles to begin with, but I do like fried pickles with ranch, I guess, or sauce. So
I like that. All right. Well, I did in this time, I forgot about a food item, so I replaced the one that was it the Philly. So the other one that I'll talk about that I'm pretty excited to try out would be the rigatoni pizza. It's got little sausages on it, I believe. I don't know. It's they found the magic sauce last year with the spaghetti, and they brought it back with a different pasta style. Threw a little extra protein on there. We'll see if they can kind of catch lightning in the bottle twice with these things, but that was a pizza that, I mean, there's no food item generally that sounds too crazy for me. Like combination wise, like there's some things I don't like. Like I don't eat shrimp and some stuff like that. But when you're like, oh, pizza and spaghetti, like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Why not? Like I like pizza. I like spaghetti. Let's just put it together, see what happens. It worked out. So I'm excited to see what this is all about. I'm curious about the rigatoni because obviously they're like thicker, circular style pasta. So I'm hoping that those don't get too crispy. At least like when the spaghetti got crispy, it was a little bit of a thinner layer. These could get like pretty crispy and have a lot more kind of crunch to it. So that's the only like reservation I have about that. I would probably prefer if it was pepperoni versus sausage. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that.
It looks like sausage cups too, like
it is. They're cut like pepperonis.
Sausages. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I'm kind of my head's a little confused too because I saw a bunch of reels on Instagram that were saying the wrong shit about this thing. So I was like, I don't really know exactly what's on this. So
it's like little sausage cups. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm excited. Got the pizza back. It's a nice little, if it's anything like Louis Slices like last year, these things are fucking huge too.
I know. I think it'll be good with the vodka sauce too.
I hope they do because like I said, I didn't super in-depth read about this. I hope they do something similar like they did last year with like the garlic butter brush. Like, so it's like a garlic bread style crust as well. So I'm in on that. So Jamie, what do you have next on your list?
So another one coming from the same booth that the Deathbringer tempura shrimp is from is the burnt sando. So this is like a Japanese style brioche sandwich that's kind of like bruleed and it has a custard inside of it. Again, this was one of the items that they'd said it was inspired from their trip to Japan, the chefs. And I think this looks like an absolutely delectable sweet treat that I can't wait to try. And again, another new food item. So very exciting.
Yeah, they're definitely swinging for the fences on some of these, which I admire.
And I like Japanese like desserts like that, so I think this will be really good. I think this will be very popular, actually.
A little sweet treat.
Yeah.
A little something.
A little something. Seamus, what do you got up next for the food extravaganza?
So my next thing is over at the Stranger Things booth, and it is the upside down chicken and waffles. I think it is because it says Steve smuggled and L's, so it's definitely Stranger Things. This is like a cheese and potato waffle with crispy chicken bites, sriracha aioli, and chopped chives. So it's got sriracha on it, and I'm down for anything sriracha covered.
A little spicy.
Yeah, I'm not a big chicken and waffles guy, only because I don't like the syrup that a lot of restaurants put on it. Yeah. But with this one, it sounds like it's going to be a little more tangy, a little more spicy. So I'm definitely willing to try it. I'm excited for this.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Nice.
Well, next up, I got the torn to shreds pork sandwich.
I bet you do.
This is the barbecue smoked shredded pork shoulder. It's got a jalapeno slaw and a pretzel roll. So they're kind of, zhuzhing up just a typical pork sandwich. And I'm curious about the jalapeno slaw. Like, I'm hoping it's got a nice burn to it. Like, I like that sweet and spicy if they're going the sweet barbecue route versus like a smoky. I think the sweet would work a little bit better with the jalapeno slaw. So I'm curious too with the pretzel rolls. Like, from a picture, it's a little bit hard to tell. Like, I'm curious if it's, thicker, smaller, salted up. Like, I don't know entirely yet, but we'll find out probably tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. Along the weekend, I will have one of these. That's for sure.
Yes.
That's for damn sure. All righty. Jamie, what you got?
Up next, coming over from Cafe La Bamba, we have Annie's Juke Joint Catfish and Grits. Also, very...
Sorry. Continue. I don't mean
perfect for a 110-degree day.
Another fun fact about me, although I can't indulge in meats anymore just because I don't eat it, my own choice, it is, I do love Southern food, and I was very excited for this booth, so I'm glad that they have an option that I can enjoy. From looking at the picture, it looks like a pretty hearty portion. This is kind of what I figured with how they did for the Quiet Place booth when they kind of had the rice and beans and stuff like that in a little bowl. Here, let me pull it up real quick so I could find it. Yeah, so it's crispy catfish with low country grits, crunchy garlic, and a side of Tabasco. That sounds good.
Okay.
I like catfish. I haven't had catfish in a long time, probably since I started eating seafood again. So why not try it at Universal for my first time since eating it again? But hey, I'm never one opposed to theme park seafood. I've never gotten sick from it, knock on wood.
Yeah,
so
we had fish and chips a lot.
We did fish and chips a lot. So yeah, I'm very excited for that too. I feel like I keep saying that about all of them, but I really am. I was kind of not expecting to have too many new or like fun items that I'd be able to try specifically. So yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't really have one because Nick took it. My last one is the torn to shreds pork sandwich. I love pulled pork, so I am excited for it. So yeah, that's about all I got for that one.
Yeah, and you got your spice too because you get the jalapeno sauce.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Well, entering the bottom of my list, these are what I like to call the danger picks. These last two come with varying risks. And the first one is also, Jamie, from the Sinners booth. This is the pecan and whiskey bread pudding.
I knew you were going to say that.
Warm bread pudding with pecan and whiskey caramel sauce. Why is it a risk? Well, your boy has a tree nut allergy. And that has never stopped me before. Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, one of these days, you're going to regret that.
No EpiPen, I'm going to raw dog this shit. Pop a Benadryl, call it a day. I can't pass up a bread pudding. That's just like not in me. That's not
This is how realistic. We lose a co-host.
It's not good. Yeah, I just can't. I can't not do it. So we're going to see what happens. You know, there's other stuff I'm allergic to. So like, for comparison, I believe if they're cooked, I'm good. Like I would just never eat like raw pecans or walnuts or whatever because it tastes like shit anyways. But like apples and stuff, like what? Yes, they do. They're all dry walnuts.
I like them. They're good for you. Come on.
Walnuts are nasty.
Reminds me of the holidays.
Chew on tree bark. But yeah, like apples, for instance, like I can't just eat a raw apple. The skin, like it's an oral allergy to the trees. But I can have like apple pie and stuff like that, apple sauce, like it's all cooked, processed, whatever. So we're gonna roll the dice on this bad boy. We'll see what happens.
All right.
So Jamie, what else you got?
So I do have another one. So this is from the Barkside Fair booth. If I'm not mistaken from the photo, it looks like this is either over in the new kind of booth that they have outside of Central Park across from the Animal Actors stage, or the one in San Francisco that they usually have the Asian style food at, if this is taken over that one. Not quite sure, but there's two things here. One returning that I'm excited for, the elotes with the Flamin' Hot Cheetos on the outside. Very excited. Love the elotes last year at the Jason booth. And there's an option. There's no photo of it, but it's literally just called fried dough, and you could get it with garlic parmesan or with powdered sugar. So a little sweet or a little savory. Yeah.
A little something.
A little something.
All right.
A lot of snacky things this year.
Yeah. And then, Seamus, you said you don't have any more, right? You finished yours? Because I have one more. That's it.
I only picked 5.
Okay. The last one, I'm really surprised nobody picked this one. This is, like I said, also part of the danger zone. This is, for different reasons, I'm not allergic to anything on this one, the Jack and Odd dog. The Nathan's All Beef foot-long hot dog with peppers, onions, Tostitos cheese sauce, topped with flaming hot Cheetos on an Oddfellow ube bun.
This one actually doesn't sound that crazy.
It's not as crazy. I wish it was crazier.
The ube bun's
but, I'll take what I can get. I got the dog. The dog's going to be in me.
Would it be Horror Nights if there wasn't some weird hot dog? I mean,
very true.
Thank God they didn't break my heart again. They must listen. They know. They're like, all right. How did you wreck Nick's stomach this year with a hot dog?
I did have another thing, just a small thing if you were done, Nick. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I don't think I need to talk too much about it. I am curious about the ube bun, having it be like, I don't know if it's purple or not, like a purple yam, because that's what it is. Ube is like a purple yam, so I don't know if the bun is purple.
It is.
But
I'm assuming it probably is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks crazier than it really is. Because like when you break it down, like, hot dog, peppers, and onions.
Yeah, I mean, a yam's just basically a potato, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's probably not too crazy, just colored weird.
Yeah, so
the only Kool-Aid flavored.
I like ube.
The only wacky stuff really is like the Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Right.
That's not anything too crazy. But so Jamie, what's your last item before we actually start getting into these lists?
Yeah, sorry guys. Small little thing, everyone. From the once San Francisco Candy Company, the now Cary Candy Company, Cary, Ohio Candy Company, I should say. In there and in whatever other candy shops in the booth or in the park that you come across, they have always the macaroons for the event too. And they have this year a cotton candy Killer Clowns macaroon. And I think they have like a pecan bourbon one, a couple other different ones. But I feel like this is a really underrated, again, sweet treat that you could especially like
Cheap,
get on your
too.
way out of the park. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
they're
my next
never
point too.
expensive.
They're usually like 6 for $20, and then if you use your pass, I think it comes to like $18 or something like that. I mean, for theme park pricing, it's not bad, and they honestly are really good macaroons. They're chewy, they're always good flavored, so very excited to try that too.
What I'm hearing is we're going to be stopping at the burger
the candy
place
store
every other night.
Yep.
next to
Every
Richter's,
time
exactly.
before we go into Club Horror, we gotta go dance off the macaroons.
Let me just bop in here real quick. That's usually how I am.
Burn
I was
some
like,
calories.
I'll meet you guys over there.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, let's migrate our way into these hype lists. As a reminder, we have 2 hype lists. We on here at Fear and Beer, we kind of smash everything besides houses on one list together, just because why not? You know, scare zones, there's only 4. Shows, there's 2. Street experiences, there's 2. And at the end of the day, hype is just like what you are excited for the most. So I think it makes sense to just kind of push all of those together, because it's not really a side-by-side comparison of us saying something is better. And if you have a preference one way or the other, it's more of an excitement level thing. So we're going to go through that list first. And then, of course, we have our hype list for our houses. So scare zones, shows, street experiences, all mashed up together. Who would like to kick us off with their number 8?
You really want me to waste time?
Or should we?
We all know what my number 8 is.
I feel like we might all have. If I know my co-hosts, I think we might. So maybe on the count of 3, we all say what our number 8 is.
Okay.
I think
Let's
I
see what happens.
I think I know everybody here enough. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Fortnite.
Fortnitemares.
Okay. Yep.
I just called it Fortnite.
Fortnites.
Fortnite. It's Fortnite.
Fartnite. That's what I call it. So, yeah, I mean, it's there. It's on the list. It's
a thing.
It's a thing. These are personal hype lists, you know. Maybe, like I've said it before, maybe it's the greatest thing that I didn't know I needed. But as far as before we kick off into the event, it doesn't excite me in the least. Even with the props that are out, I do think it looks a little cheapy, almost like it's very cartoony, which is to be expected. But I don't know. I think that's why it's kind of where it is for me. Seamus, any other thoughts on yours? For Fortnite?
No, not at all. Like, I mean, it's just it's just stupid. I mean, listen, I've gone over this multiple times how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't like the game. I don't think that it justifies. There's no justification for it to be here. I've said it before. I mean, listen to our massive hype list episode. If this came out before this, that's tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow.
So when you listen to that episode tomorrow, you'll hear my full thoughts on it. I do kind of go back and forth a little bit with a couple of people on that episode. I can't wait to for y'all to hear that. But yeah, it's just not for me. Again, I'll say the same thing I've said 3 times. I'm not one of those to say, oh my God, it's not horror, it won't work. I'm never going to be like that. But this game, there's zero narrative. There's nothing to it that screams, you know, like this fits. I don't know. It's stupid. And I walked through it the other day just to kind of see what it looked like.
Oh, we did.
With the lights on. And I no, it's just. It's not going to be for me, and I hope whoever's happy about it's happy about it. I hope it's everything you want it to be. It's just not. I'm never going to be. You will never catch me saying, "Oh, this actually worked out. This was pretty good."
Fast forward to our opening weekend reactions.
You can hold me to that. I promise you. I promise you I will not like it.
Don't let Seamus lie to you. He was trying to hit the gritty in the scare zone. He said, don't tell anyone, Jamie. I just got to try it once.
Listen,
this was just for me.
Listen.
I got to see what all the hype's about.
For the people. Jamie, anything else for you as to why Fort Nightmares is on the very bottom besides zero attachment to it?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like I said, I mean, it's an IP, but I have zero attachment to it. Would I have preferred something else? 100%. But like you guys said, I'm just going to take it for what it is, I guess. I'm not going to completely avoid it. Some of the stuff in it does look kind of neat, I guess. There's a couple like pumpkin TVs and like pumpkin blasters, I called them the other day, that look kind of cool, I guess.
They look like super soakers.
So that's kind of fun. I think when they have the lights on and everything, it'll honestly look kind of neat. So we'll see how it ends up. But as of right now, it's just not really something I'm that excited about. Yeah. Yeah.
I second that.
maybe there'll be a fart machine in there or something.
Hopefully.
Probably
The whole thing is a fart machine.
I mean, like it's a gigantic. It's going to go over like a wet fart,
like
as far as I'm concerned.
Like in the Shrek area and the little frog, like little lily pads that you step on.
All right. Well, let's move up this list then. So, Jamie, let's just stick with you. So you're number 7 for your everything but houses list.
Yes, for everything but houses list. So at number 7, I have the Mel's Die-In Zombies. They're back again. Probably back in their same glory from last year, unfortunately. I can appreciate that they do have something now kind of in that little cut zone between the scare zone in Hollywood and then going into Central Park. So I do like that inclusion. But yeah, I mean, I would maybe prefer if they did like a different layover for it maybe, but stuck with the zombies, but just made them kind of different zombies. I don't know. They're kind of trying to go with the whole infernal carnival theming, dark circus kind of theming. So it'd be kind of cool to maybe just do their paint to their outfits a little different. They could still work at Mel's, but I don't know, just kind of jazz it up for the theming this year.
All right.
I mean, maybe they will. As of right now, we still don't even know.
Yeah,
we still don't even know. So,
but that's what the hype list is about. We don't know what these are, you know? Yep. All right. Well, Seamus, you're number 7.
My number 7 is Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. Unfortunately, the front will never excite me. I don't think that they put much effort into it at this point. I think they put more effort into other things around the park, and this is just kind of like a, hey, welcome to Horror Nights, which is fine. It is what it is. I mean, it's there for a reason. It's just, there's zero reason for me to spend any real time other than to kind of walk through, grab some pictures, and then go to the rest of the park.
Yeah, I agree, and I will give my thoughts on that probably pretty soon. Not to spoil anything, but my number 7 is actually also aligned with Jamie's. That's the Mel's Die-In Zombies. Not to say I'm not excited for this, but kind of like Jamie said, I have a feeling it's going to be similar, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think this was a really fun addition. It filled a little dead spot of the event, which is nice, and I hope they do continue to do so. And I'm okay. Even if it is the same as last year, I'm okay with that. Maybe next year we change it up. It might not need to be something that changes every single year, but maybe a little addition here and there would be nice. And I think it's fun. It's not because of the space it's in. It's not something you really like walk around or walk through like often, but it is fun to kind of go over there, interact, and it does feel like they expand their space a little bit. They kind of zip around roller skating on the streets that kind of outline Mel's Corner before going into Hollywood, of course. So I'm excited. I think it's a really great addition. I do. So it's unfortunately at 7 just because I do think it is going to be similar, which, at the end of the day, I'm still okay with. I'd rather it be similar and there than absent. So, Jamie, you're number 6.
Number 6 coming in, I have Club Headache, aka Club Horror. Surprisingly enough, this is a little bit higher than I expected it to be on my list, just due to the other things that we have. I can admit, though, that I am much more excited for the pumpkin additions in the theming this year that they decided to go with for the stage setup and kind of like the trusses and whatnot. And then I also noticed that they have like a Club Horror, like booth there instead of the little kind of beer truck or beer cart that they had before.
Yes.
So I think that'll be kind of fun to see how they do it. I liked the light up tables and chairs, like the blocky ones that they had last year, kind of closer into the exit queue of the Fast and Furious area. I'm wondering if they're gonna have those back, maybe just some cocktail tables in front of the booth and stuff. But regardless, for what club horror is, and for me not being the biggest fan of it, I guess, with the more Halloween-y theming, I guess, I'm hoping that maybe we'll get less raving and more classic Halloween vibe with the music, I guess. I don't mind it all the time, but like I said, and I'll say it once and I'll say it again, I just need to hear the Monster Mash at least once and I'll be pretty happy. And that'll probably this would probably shoot up on my list, honestly. If that was the
goes
case.
to number one.
Goes to
the power of the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash surrounding by by the lights and the pumpkins.
We did the Monster Mash. Sorry.
God, it's just such a classic.
It is. I'm with you there. It's definitely a classic.
A graveyard smash.
I'm smashed in the graveyard. Wait, what?
What?
I'm going to smash the bathrooms after my carnival dogs.
All right, come on. No more bathroom talk.
Okay, no more food. Yeah, we're done. We're past that. We turned the page. Seamus, you're number 6.
My number 6 is Mel's Dying. So I'm right along with you guys. I think I like it. It's fun. It's not a bad little place to kind of, grab some pictures and just kind of, fills that space up, makes it feel less dead, but, no pun intended. But I just think that it's again, much like Infernal Carnival and Nightmares, there's really no reason to spend a lot of time in it. Just kind of walk through and then, maybe catch it when you leave. But all in all, it's nothing really special.
Yeah. And for my number 6, like I said, I was going to be talking about it soon. This is the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares, the entrance zone. It is kind of a prove me wrong every year kind of thing where it's like, all right, well, I'm going to keep it at the bottom until one of these years when you actually surprise me and blow me out of the water. I know that there's probably a necessity to have this be the way it is, being with all the, because I really do think all the icons of the IPs are really cool and really well done. It looks really cool as a table of contents style thing. But at the end of the day, those are the set pieces. Those are the props. It's hard to, there is no real story there. We can only assume that Jack and Oddfellow will be up on by the Trust entrance area, kind of welcoming us. But again, it is such a traffic flow scare zone. You hit it on the way in and you hit it on the way out. There's not often times where we're like, hey, let's grab a beer and go hang out at the front in Minions. We're usually like, oh, let's go to New York or we'll go to Hollywood. I don't want to walk all the way up there in the middle of my night and then maybe go back to the tents in the back. It's very much a enter and exit, and they do a great job in doing that. And I enjoy the vibes when I'm in and out, but it's not a spot I seek out to be like, hey, let's go grab a beer and look at the signs of Evil Dead Burn or something. Not my thing.
That's all right.
All right. So, Jamie, number 5.
Number 5, I have the Stranger Things Lagoon show. Welcome to Hawkins. Welcome back to Hawkins, whichever one it's called. I forgot what it's called.
Return to Hawkins.
Return to Hawkins. Excuse my forgetfulness. But yeah, I think this definitely has the opportunity to go up higher on my list. I know I've said before that I'm a big fan of the water show. Contrary to popular belief of me not liking shows very much. I prefer that it's outside. I think it's a nice kind of little, hey, the show's going on over there. Let's just go catch 5 minutes of it and then just keep it moving. I like it. There's no commitment to it, I guess, like there is with Nightmare Fuel. So yeah. And I was looking through Central Park a couple days ago when I had went to the park briefly and hadn't really walked through it since they finished kind of the construction stuff. I know it's been a while. I just never really cut through that zone. But they do have a lot of space now, I guess, for viewing area for the show. And then the little kind of grassy area that you could sit into. I just think it'll be a nice, relaxing, little chill zone for a bit. I think it'll be fun that it's Stranger Things. I think this is a good addition to the Ghoulish and the other ones we've seen before. So yeah, looking forward to it.
So my number 5?
Yes, yeah. Seamus, sorry.
Yeah, so good. Same with you, Jamie. I get Stranger Things Return to Hawkins.
Nice.
like the Lagoon show. It's always a nice little, diversion when you want to kind of just hang out for a few minutes. So this will be kind of fun. Plus, Stranger Things, I think this is exactly what this Lagoon show should be used for, is something along the lines of an IP with some music thrown over the top of it and just kind of give you those nostalgic retro feels for whatever show or movie that it's going for. So yeah, this works. I'm kind of happy where it is.
Well, this is kind of a boring portion of the list. My number 5 is also Stranger Things: Return to Hawkins. Whoops. Yeah, everything you all said, like Seamus's point, I think this is the perfect fit for a way to utilize Stranger Things. Is it bad to say that I might be a little bit more excited for the Lagoon show than I am the house itself?
No, that's okay.
Like this is a different medium,
I
right?
guess,
I've seen a Stranger Things house 3 times before, and this is the first time I'm going to see like a Stranger Things Lagoon show, and nobody can ever argue the fact that Stranger Things doesn't have an absolute banger soundtrack. Like if they're going to be able to pull even some of the songs they use along with like that synthy, 80s nostalgia feel, that's the key right there. And that's something I think we probably talked about on our very first episode of the Podathon with Mark, whereas like as the seasons of Stranger Things progressed, it switched almost a little bit. Like 1 through 3 was like very nostalgia based. And then like 4 and 5 got more serious because the story had to, and it got almost like more actiony, and it kind of lost some of that magic of that nostalgia. And that was driven by the music. So I'm expecting this to be a very nostalgic look back at Stranger Things. So I'm very excited to see how they mash up all these different ideas and create a show out of a show, So I'm excited. So Jamie, number 4.
Number 4, coming in hot, we have, literally coming in hot, we have Nightmare Fuel Blood Noir. A little bit higher than the Lagoon show, only up 1 spot. I'm excited for this new theming. I think the Blood Noir will be pretty neat. Hopefully there's still some magic involved in the show, one of my favorite aspects of it. And yeah, I mean, we've talked about Nightmare Fuel before. I don't have to go too much into it because we know I'm not the hugest fan of sitting and waiting for shows and all the other extracurriculars that entail for even getting to watch it. So yeah, we got it kind of right here in the middle upper, I guess. Maybe it'll change rankings throughout the season. It probably will. But yeah, for right now, we got it at number 4.
All right.
Yeah. Now, my number 4 is Club Horror. I know I'm the resident Club Horror enjoyer on the podcast. I know that it can get kind of loud, can get kind of, headache-inducing on certain nights. But at the same time, for me, it's a nice place to kind of just hang out and have a drink and not feel like I'm super crowded, because last year it didn't feel like it ever got really crowded, which is nice. I think their goal is to make is for it to be like more of a club, but I don't think a lot of people are going there for that, so it doesn't really get that busy. But for me, having the drink thing right there, some tables to kind of just hang out and just people watch and have a drink and listen to music. So I don't hate it. I kind of like it.
Well, me and you, number 4, we're right in line. Club Horror as well for myself. All the same thoughts, especially the people watching. That's pretty fun. I like being able to. It's an interesting crowd over there at times, especially once you hit midnight. Watching. So it's interesting. That's for sure. Makes for some fun conversation pieces. But I'm excited. I am a little nervous about them putting that big bar in the back, because I was used to I did going towards the back and chilling a little bit. So I'm curious how the flow will be. But maybe that means more drink offerings and more beer and stuff like that over there. So time will tell, I guess. Jamie, number 3.
Number 3, opposite to my co-host, I have Infernal Carnival of Nightmares, the entrance zone, as my number 3 on my list.
High. Okay.
That is pretty high.
That is pretty high.
I forgot you didn't talk about it yet.
I know not everyone really considers it a scare zone, but hey, I really think they did a lot of work on that entrance truss area and the kind of archway, I guess, where they have the ticket booth and the drapings and all the little additions and kind of little hidden things that they put in there. And personally, I think for me, why I had it a little bit higher is because I know we kind of got to see Oddfellow walking around his zone in the previous years and stuff like that. It's been a while since we've kind of really gotten to see Jack up in person and close like this, other than his like escapades that he had kind of roaming through the park in 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be fun to maybe like get to interact with him like we did with Oddfellow before. So I think that's what I'm really looking forward to most. But I am curious if they're going to add some other scare actors or different little additions into this, though. And personally, you guys know me. I'm not afraid to say it. I love a photo op. I don't care if it's a photo op zone. I think the little set pieces that they have for the IPs are really, really cool. I liked what they did with the statues last year. I thought that was fun too. So yeah.
Yeah, I do think they did come out very nice looking.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are good set pieces.
Especially the Sinners one. Man, that one looks cool. And the Hellraiser one.
I like the Aussie one.
Nope. They're all cool.
All right, so
Shame-o.
Yeah, my number 3. Oh, my yawning. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
We only got one more day, one more PodCon episode. We're almost there.
This, Grandpa. Almost there.
My number 3 is Nightmare Fuel, Blood Noir. I know we've said constantly that, we're so friggin' tired of Nightmare Fuel, but I think when they released the name of it, I was immediately just sucked right back in, sucked back on board. Like, I love noir and I love vampires, and just putting the two things together, mix that with the Fuel Girls and some sexy dancing, and I'm on board. So make it happen.
Well,
and the magic is kind of cool too.
And the magic's fun.
And I was going to say, and
the magic.
And Dan. And Dan, and Dan, I come watch you do the magic tricks. All right, number 3, boring list. Seamus, Nightmare Fuel, right there with me as well. I have a lot of gripes with Nightmare Fuel. Number 1, just being the unnecessary repeat fan base. I'm so sick of waiting in line because people want to watch this thing 6 times a night, and that's all they do. That's really the biggest thing. There's a very big diehard crowd of the show, and I can find appreciation in your love for it. However, I can't fucking stand waiting for this show. Like, I'm not going to show up 45 minutes early to get into a 30-minute show and then take 20 minutes to get it. Like, it's a lot. I really miss the days of the first 1 or 2 Nightmare Fuel like years where it was kind of like the Lagoon show, where if the show starts at 8, let's just say, you can kind of roll up at 7:50, 7:55 and just walk right in, grab a seat at the top and call it a day. Now you have to etch that time out of your schedule. However, I'm really hoping that this is a much different direction based off of the much different title. I'm expecting to really be wowed by the set pieces and the story, and I hope it does deviate from those last 5 iterations, really 2 iterations, because the first 3 years were 1 and the last 2 were that same part. So I'm hoping that they really, shift gears, change it up a lot. Obviously, we're going to get the dancing, the fire, the magic, that stuff, but like, make the story different, make the theme different, give us different characters, and I'm all in. So I'm excited. Yep. So Jamie, number 2, which inevitably, if you are tracking at home, will reveal your number 1, but we'll save that for the following round.
Yes, well, this was a tough choice for my number 1 and number 2 because they're very close to each other. But coming in at number 2, we have Downtown Clowntown. I think this scare zone's going to be an absolute blast, and man, is it looking real cool. A lot of set pieces. They really filled it up in here. I mean, I love all the carnival like setting like games. They have kind of like the one where it's like a rollerball one, and it looks like it has some guest activated triggers on there, which is cool. Hopefully they don't get ruined throughout the season.
Yeah, right. Use them while you got them.
Yeah, right. I'm excited to see, other than of course like they put Chance's ice cream truck in there and stuff like that, and we'll see some the killer clowns over in that zone too. And it's just, it's so overwhelming. All the killer clown stuff looks so cool too. The cotton candy cocoons that they have up on the little spool, just the different like little machines and bits and bobs that they've added for them, and the huge pies, the cream pies and scattered around. I'm overwhelmed even talking about it. It just looks really, really fun. And I'm glad they extended some of these pieces and everything so far out, kind of right towards the entrance of the Jimmy Fallon store, right across from the Minions food booth right there. I just think this, like I said, this is just going to be such a fun scare zone. I'm excited to see what kind of music we get throughout it. And aside, like I said, from seeing our characters that we know will be there, the Art the Clown stage is looking really fantastic too, over in that little side area across from Transformers. But I'm excited to see what kind of other like clowns, I guess, like original clowns that we get in their kind of costume design and stuff.
They've definitely been very hush-hush on like all that.
Yeah.
Like, mystery clowns, essentially.
And I gotta say, pretty excited. I've seen some updated, since I haven't gotten to see it in person yet, and I will see it in a day. One of the presents on Art's Santa stage, there is a present for a Jamie up there, which is very cool. So if you guys did that for me, probably not. I'd like to think you did, but I think that's fun. I never see my name on little stuff, because whenever things like set pieces, I guess, and zones and stuff, or houses when we do the tours have names, I always try to look for a Jamie. Never find one. So that was fun.
Well, Jamie must have joined the art and decor team then.
If you do, shout outs to you. Or if you did.
All right, Seamus, your number two?
Yeah.
Sorry, my number two is Downtown Clown Town, which I think is the one you just mentioned. And obviously it had to be one of the two, and this one's just, I think, a little bit less exciting to me than the other, but only because I think that this one seems like it's going to be more IP heavy than original, and I just tend to prefer the originals, so that's why they ended up being 1, 2 the way they are.
Well, this is probably one of the least exciting hype lists. Number 2, Downtown Clown Town for me.
Wow.
Very similar across the board. It's number 2, so I don't really have to say too much, but the circus clown haunt thing for me is kind of overplayed. Every single haunt has a clown. It's just, it is what it is. I am a little nervous that it's a little too clowny overall, because I do like variety in stuff, especially when it comes to horror nights, because they have, a history of creating varying properties amongst the streets. So I'm a little, I don't want to say I'm hesitant, but I do have my guard up when it comes to this. I hope it doesn't become too samey once you're actually out there. And it does still throw me off that the killer clowns and Art the Clown are mashed with this IP, like IPs and originals. It's a weird kind of thing. I know they're like off to their own things. I'm very surprised that those two things are not referred to as street experiences, like an Art the Clown street experience, Killer Clown street experience, and then Downtown Clown Town. Like, I'm surprised that they did smush them all together. It's a weird IP rights thing.
Not
where it was like
Downtown.
they actually, I'm surprised that the IP holders were okay with putting their names together on something. That is kind of a little bit of a shocker for me. But yeah, that's why it's at number 2. I'm excited. It's a big area. I think the size is going to be crazy once we're there. So I'm excited, but I'm a little weary of it. So, Jamie, you're number 1, which I think.
Well, we could all discuss it.
I think we have all the same number 1 at this point.
It is the same.
That's what it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah. Sideshow of Decay, huh?
Yes.
Hill Hollywood Zone reigning supreme here on Fear and Beer Hype.
Yes, it is. And it is looking cool. The Shadow Man, hope I get to meet you. But wow, do they have a lot of stuff in this scare zone.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Sorry, Nick. I didn't know. I was going to say I didn't know if you wanted to start off the conversation on it, or if we had to.
No,
okay,
go.
No. I was going to say, but yeah, a lot of. I said that Downtown Clown Town has a lot for the width and I guess the length that we have for the Hollywood Zone. They really did put a lot of pieces in here. A lot of fun Easter eggs with this kind of knockdown clowns from like the carnival games and stuff like that. Each stage is just chock full of different like broken down like carnival rides and stuff like that, and all having the different unique like character banners and stuff like that. Like I said, the Shadow Man is one of my favorite. You have like the juggling vampire, a couple other different ones, a lot of funny puns hidden in some of the kind of like boards or like I guess signs incorporated in the stages. But yeah, I mean, we've seen all this stuff and we've seen it over time and how much they've added to it. But now I guess I'm just wondering, I know this is kind of like Cindy's Into the Portal Zone brought these characters out of the portal. It's a lot going on with the storytelling, I guess, for me. But it makes me curious. And I guess that's why I had it at my number 1, because I'm interested in, I guess, what other characters I think we'll see throughout this scare zone as well, with these just really bright and colorful and wacky pieces that we have.
Yeah. Seamus, what's drawing you to this, to Hollywood?
Yeah, I just think it looks like the most scare zone they have this year. I think that's a big deal to me. And then the other thing too is, like Jamie said, I think all those set pieces look really cool. I think it's gonna feel like a sideshow. It's gonna feel alive in a lot of ways. And it kind of reminds me of trying to think what the scare zone was. We had one that was similar to this at one point, but I think it's gonna work pretty well. I'm surprised that this one got stuck in Hollywood and not the other way around, but maybe it's just because of the numbers of stages that they needed for one versus the other is why they put it here. But yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree. I think the props out there look really cool. I'm excited that Cindy is like back and getting a pretty prominent role, kind of being the lead on this. At this point, because it was announced so long ago, we sort of kind of forgetting that this is Cindy. I'm surprised she's not more like
I almost
in
did.
the forefront of like the design and stuff like that with the logo. But I'm excited. They all look like really wacky stuff. There's a billion props out there, and I'm curious if they are like all direct references to past stuff, because there is clear references to some stuff. I'm curious if all of them have a callback specific to something in particular. That'll be kind of like a true deep dive, like going through that entire zone and picking it all apart. But I'm excited. This is, for me, still in that clowny world, but it's not just like Clown Town. Like, this is Sideshow of Decay. It's like it's a story within a carnival, not just like this is the carnival. So and I like those little sideshowy banner people. I don't know if those are going to be scare actors or not. I don't know if we're going to see those people, but they're interesting. And there's that like super creepy tall man clown that like his eyes always look like they're watching you, or that's how it feels.
The
to
real
me.
like lanky one. Yeah,
that is like sitting on top of one of the side stages. I think that's really
Poltergeist
creepy.
clown.
Yeah, and I'm very excited to see this with the lights on. I think that's going to be a very big,
Me too.
kind of, I don't want to say improvement, but that's going to be a very, it's going to not make or break, but it's going to be a strong suit, hopefully, of this zone in particular. I know Hollywood sometimes has lighting issues depending how they kind of lay it out. So I'm excited, but I'm still curious to see if there's any like center stages. Like, they always kind of wheel those out based off because they have the parade route that they can't put like center pieces out yet. I'm curious if there is going to be like a divider, kind of like they had last year. It was like a big float stage that they would drive in, drive out every single night. So I am excited for that. So before we dive in to the houses, why don't we just one at a time list from 8 to 1 from what that previous list was. So Jamie, let's go through your Scare Zones, shows, and street experiences.
Yeah. And at number 8, I have Fort Nightmares. Number 7, I have Mel's Dying Zombies. Number 6, Club Horror. Number 5, Stranger Things Lagoon Show, Return to Hawkins. Number 4, Nightmare Fuel, Blood Noir. Number 3, Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. Number 2, Downtown Clown Town. And number 1, Sideshow of Decay.
Alrighty. And Seamus?
Yeah, I've got at 9 or 8 or 1,000 or whatever the hell you want to say. I get Fortnite Mares
off the list.
7 Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. 6 Mel's Dying. 5 Stranger Things Return to Hawkins, Lagoon Show. 4 Club Horror. 3 Nightmare Fuel, Blood Noir, and then 2 Downtown Clown Town, and then Sideshow Decay, rounding out the list.
Yeah, well, these lists are all pretty similar. Hopefully the houses are a little bit more varied, but mine is 8 Fort Nightmares, 7 Mel's Dying Zombies, 6 Infernal Carnival of Nightmares, 5 Stranger Things Return to Hawkins, 4 Club Horror, 3 Nightmare Fuel Blood Noir, 2 Downtown Clown Town, and 1 Sideshow of Decay. So that brings us to the big ticket. This is what everybody comes for. This is the houses. Yeah. So let's hope that these are a little bit more varied. I think they will be. I'm curious. So we'll just kick things off same order. So Jamie, you're number 10.
Rounding out the bottom of my list, we have at number 10, Madlands Cage Cannibals. The unfortunate sorrow of the one house that usually just doesn't really stick out to me and seems kind of forgetful. We've seen it in the past with kind of like that Hell Block house, that museum house. I know some people enjoyed that one. I was not a huge fan. But yeah, I just think overall this is giving like that post-apocalyptic vibe that we've just seen so much, and I know you could do a lot with it, but that doesn't mean that you have to do it every single year. I mean, I'll be open to it like I will with all the other ones. Who knows? Maybe it'll surprise me. But as for right now, this one's at number 10.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with you, Jamie. I've got Badlands, Caged Cannibals at number 10. Just doesn't speak to me. I'm kind of nervous that the story's a little out there in the sense that like they're not going to know how to do anything with it. I don't think it's going to be terrible or bad in any way. I just think it's going to be boring. It's going to be kind of like Museum. Fell super flat. Didn't really work the way I wanted it to. I kind of can see probably what they're going for, but just not going to be something that I'm going to want to do all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, my number 10, I am surprised because somehow this wasn't at the bottom of both your lists and you haven't seen it and I have. This is Evil Dead Burn. Maybe that's why it's at my bottom and not yours, because I was the one that saw it and it has firmly stood at number 10 for me. This is me basing it off of the movie. I really don't have much to work for. I couldn't stand the movie. I hated it. And I know that Horror Nights can take a bad property and make it into a good house. But as far as hype, excitement, no, I am not excited for something I detested. This was an abomination of a movie. I can't stand it. So it's number 10. It's gory. There's some good kills, but really that's where it starts and ends for me. So I do think this, like at the end when we're ranking our houses, I think this obviously is at number 10, but it has the most ability to jump up because it couldn't be an amazing house. But for right now, this is where it's going to land because of just how much I did not enjoy that thing. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that some more, go back and listen to our HHN homework episode where I kind of went a little bit more in depth into all the problems that I did have with the film as a whole. But yeah, unfortunately, we're ranking 10 houses. There's going to be something at the bottom. Yeah. Prove me wrong. Oh, Jamie, you're number 9.
Yeah, well, not too far off from my number 10 spot. I have Evil Dead Burn at number 9. Okay. Like Nick just had mentioned, I still haven't seen this movie. It's clear as day. I probably won't have time to see it now before the event starts, which is totally okay. I don't mind going in blind to it. I mean, I've seen and heard enough unfortunate things about it to kind of, and I don't want to be influenced by it, but I guess I am, because just majority of the reviews I've seen and friends and Nick, obviously, who have seen it, didn't really like it. So, and comparatively to the other Evil Deads, I heard doesn't really have that comedic aspect that I kind of like from the original films. I know it's a different storyline, different whatever. But yeah, I mean, like Nick said, there's been plenty of houses that were based off IPs or these properties that weren't really that great, but ended up being a great house. So that could be the case with this one, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, so it's why it's really ranked so low.
Yeah, well, I guess we're going to be boring too, because my number 9 is also Evil Dead Burn, and I have not seen the movie yet, and I probably won't see the movie right away. Maybe at some point, but everything Nick has said, everything I've read, it's not good, and I have zero desire to really sit down and push myself through it. The only reason this is at 9, not 10, is that I think that there is a chance for this house. I think there is something there that could work. And much like Exorcist did a few years ago, it could surprise me. I'm not holding out hope that it does. I'm also not necessarily holding out belief that it will, but you never know. Sometimes gore works, sometimes it doesn't. Looking at you, Triple to Terror, but it's at 9, not because I think it's going to be terrible, but again, I just don't think it's going to wow me. I don't think it's going to be very fun.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, my number 9, I'm sticking with the IPs here. I've learned my lessons over the years. Number 9, Stranger Things 5.
Wow.
I love Stranger Things, but and in terms of what I'm excited for, and I've mentioned it already before in this episode, is variety and the ability to bring new properties to us and let us walk through this. Stranger Things now, and I haven't been going to Horror Nights forever. I started at 25. But Stranger Things now, a property that I do love, will be the thing I have seen the most as far as IP goes. This is the fourth time I'm going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
First house was amazing. Second house was, I think, okay at best. I think they kind of missed the ball by smashing seasons 2 and 3 together. I think season 2 is probably the weakest of the seasons. 3 I really like. And then obviously the Stranger Things 4 house, which left me wanting more. It just didn't, it fell a little flat. It felt like, I don't know what it was. I don't know if they blew the budget for that house in specific scenes or not, but it felt like there were shortcuts taken, which I didn't necessarily appreciate, especially in what most people refer to as the best season. I think 4 was a far better season than season 5. So the set pieces, everything, like they had it all working for them for that season, and it did let me down at times. There was a lot of curtains used. There was that little clock corner with the grandfather clock on the ground. That was just kind of wasted space. The big Eddie and Dustin bat stage thing, while it looked cool at that first run, it was kind of an awe moment. And then when you go through again, you're like, damn, it was just like, that's just curtains with projections. Like, it's a big open area. It didn't hit necessarily as hard as I thought it could have been. So, I hope they can swing for the fences and like really turn me around on this thing. But I do think that season 4 had a lot more working for it than season 5 did in regards to set pieces. And, we're kind of left with finishing out Stranger Things. Ideally, this might be the last time. So enjoy it while it's here, because I will enjoy it. I'll soak it in and be ready for Stranger Things nostalgia to hit. But I really hope at the end of the day, it's also a good house.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So Jamie, you're number 8.
Number 8, we have Invasion, Alien Abduction. I was just going to say, Nick, I was surprised by your last pick, and I figured you'd be surprised by that one. We don't got to get... Sorry, Seamus, I didn't cut you off. I know.
I think this is where we start to deviate a little bit.
L's in the chat. L's in the chat.
Alien schmalians. No, I know a lot of people are excited for this house. I'm excited that they're excited, I guess. Aliens just don't really do it for me. I've mentioned it before, so we don't really got to go too deep into this one. I think it does have the potential of possibly going up on my list. I guess just because this isn't based on the Invasion we've seen before, and this is a new theme and a new setting, I guess, with the same name, Invasion, I think is a little interesting choice. But I'm curious about it. Do I think it'll be scary? Not necessarily, even though that's how they've spoken about it to be. But, I mean, who knows? I could be saying that now, and then I could be absolutely blown away by these little green guys things walking around the house, coming out of barns and making crop circles. So we'll see. But yeah, for right now, Alien Invasion, Alien Abduction is unfortunately at my number 8 spot.
Well, Nick, you and I are kind of on the same wavelength here, friend. I got Stranger Things 5 at number 8.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
I want it to be good. I really do. But I am along with Nick. I think this season, out of all of the seasons, this is the one that lends itself to a house the least. I think the majority of this season was tying up story threads, tying up characters, seeing characters off, and there may be 2 or 3 episodes that actually work as a haunted house. So I'm hoping that they pull it off. I've been told that it's really good from certain people, so I'm hoping that everyone that said that is right. But I mean, I can't really make a judgment call until I actually go through it. So until I go through it and it actually proves me wrong, it's going to sit low on my list, just because after last year, or not last year, after a couple years ago with Stranger Things 4, I just think that it's kind of hit that point where I think we're done with it. I think 8 years we've had it 4 times. Is that right? Four times in 8 years.
Sounds about right, but it's.
I mean, I know that isn't. I know it's not. I know it's not there every single year, but it just feels like it is. It feels like we can't get away from it, and at some point, it's, the fatigue does get to you, and I'm hoping that it can reinvigorate my love for the series. But at the same time, I'm not expecting much at all from it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, the fatigue is real. Like, it is. Like, it's just, I didn't get to fully live, and I don't think it is a fair comparison between the Walking Dead years, but it's creeping up where it's like, I know it's not every year, didn't take over the whole park, yada, yada. But still, like, for an event that does generally prioritize variety and switching things up, this has been a repeat offender. So, my number 8, my first original, Madlands Caged Cannibals, something you both, I believe, have already mentioned. It's a lot of the same thing that you said, Jamie, in particular, the post-apocalyptic stuff. Like, I it's giving me similar vibes to Descendants of Destruction, which I ended up growing on me a lot. So I hope this can do the same thing. But it also sounds a lot like Museum, where it has these giant grand ideas, this big story, kind of like Eternal Bloodlines a little bit. And Seamus's, one of his points, Legends Collide, where does the story sound good? Yeah, sounds like a great movie idea. But can you flesh it out in a walk through haunted house? I don't know. It's tough to kind of encapsulate this story where it's like, well, it's post-apocalyptic in a zoo. Okay, cool. Well, the animals are actually far extinct. Okay, well, that's another layer. Well, now the people are actually trying to act like the animals, but they don't know what the animals act like because they're so extinct. It's like, okay, is that going to come through? Hopefully, but to me, post-apocalyptic-y style house is all I have tunnel vision on that. So that's kind of holding me back. I think the zoo setting is pretty fun. I think they could have done a really cool zoo style house without it being cannibals, post-apocalyptic. I think you could have left those two aspects of the story out of there and still had an amazing haunted house. And I probably would have been more excited for it. But when those details started to come out, that's when the stock in it started to kind of waver a little bit for me. So, all right. So, Jamie, you're number 7.
For my number 7, I have Cybergoria. I think this is it seems like it's a little bit lower, but I'm actually very excited for this house. Being something that I'm usually that whole like sci-fi robotics kind of realm, usually not a big fan of, but I think this is something really unique that we really haven't seen before at the event. And I think if they do it correctly, it could, what's the word I'm looking for? Be executed well in a house. I think it could look pretty cool, depending how they go. Again, this kind of maybe could fall under that post-apocalyptic kind of style. Not that I necessarily think it will. I think it would be more fun to see kind of that like chrome, stainless steel, like bright, maybe kind of robotic stuff, cyberness. But I think the more reason is just my curiosity for this one, just to see how everything's going to be set up. I had seen only a little bit of the kind of like Q video, which is kind of cool. It was more like an informational video, I guess, not to give too much away. But I mean, this is just the not knowing what I'm in for with this house makes me intrigued by it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my number 7 is Ozzy. I'm sorry, everybody.
Whoa, okay.
I know that
Very surprised, Shamo.
I know I had I waxed poetic about Ozzy on the homework episode, but as far as the house is concerned, I haven't been super hyped up on it, only because I don't know. I know that it's crazy for me to say because I was super hyped about the weekend, but to me, I felt like the weekend was something unique and different, and I was just interested in seeing what they could do with it. Plus, I feel like it was a very dark record that they based it on. With this one, it's kind of like you're not really sure where they're going with it. Is it about Ozzy himself, or is it about the stories he's telling in his songs? How are they going to feed this together? Is it a compilation house? Is it going to be just a bunch of Ozzy lookalikes walking around biting bats' heads off? Like, I just don't know what it's going to be. Yeah. And it could be like WWE, where it grew on me over the season, and I ended up really liking it for the most part. Or is it going to be one of those that just I'm confused the whole time? Not that I don't like it, I just don't know what's going on. I don't understand what they're going for here. It'll be a good excuse to kind of just rock out to his music, but at the same time, like, do I want an entire house like that? So I don't know. We'll see. It only ended up here because of all the other houses that I'm just more excited for in a lot of ways.
It feels very much, and I know the comparison's already there because of the unfortunate passings of both, but it does remind me of where we were last year with WWE, where it was like, I kind of know what it's based on, but I don't know what's in the house. Like, it's hard for me to judge. All right. My number 7, I'm back on the IP train. This is probably going to piss people off. Number 7, Hellraiser. For me, just not IP that I was in love with growing up. This was a little bit earlier than when I got into it. This is just, it's something that I kind of missed growing up. I never really got super into them. I have recently started to rewatch them more and more, 1 through 3 in particular. Practical effects, gore, it's all there. Mythology, it's there. Great character design, they got it. But man, that first movie is fucking boring. It's just so it's one setting. Like, it's just there's some movies that are one setting and can work, but for me, it was pretty boring. And I feel like I'm the opposite. Like, number 3 for me, when it gets like just wacky and crazy and bad by standards, I enjoyed that. Like, I thought that was a fun route to go. It's just, he's an iconic character, but this isn't a franchise that I was, watching all the time. It wasn't Halloween or Nightmare or, Scream or Friday the 13th. This was just this one always sort of slipped me. I never really got super into them, but I know people have been asking for it for a while. I'm expecting to be completely wowed by this house. You don't get an IP that has been on the shelf for so long without you doing it and drop the ball. You can't. You cannot. So while I'm expecting this to shift in my rankings, but right now, before we go into these houses or see or even know what's in them, it's a little bit lower just because of my attachment to the property is just not there as much as others. So unfortunately, that's why Mr. Pinhead is going to be at number 7 for me. So Jamie, number 6.
Well, my number 6, don't worry, Hawkins, I'm with you forever, is Stranger Things 5. Not right in the middle, but almost right in the middle. Like I said, I personally don't have Stranger Things fatigue. I thought it was a shoo-in to be at the event, so I wasn't surprised when it did get announced. I think it's great that they're finishing off the series with a house since we've seen all the other iterations of it. I think it was only necessary. Even though it wasn't, I guess, by standards, the best season and maybe not some things to work with, I think we could be surprised with this house, and I think it could be a really fun, nostalgic, just send off for the series itself. And like Nick had mentioned earlier when we were talking about the Lagoon show, this could be the last time we'd be seeing Stranger Things. And I know he mentioned the Walking Dead, and let me just say, I would much rather see Stranger Things this many times than Walking Dead this many times in a row. With at least Stranger Things, you have some different settings in the houses, at least look a little bit different. I feel like Walking Dead is very similar in all the things that you could really put in a house. But, I mean, it is a little repetitive, I guess you could say. But I like Stranger Things, and I think it'll be fun to kind of send it off with my friends in the house. So hopefully it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say entertaining. Hopefully it's more scenically pleasing than the house we got for Stranger Things 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, well, my number 6, I'm with you with Nick again. Like, I get Hellraiser here. I think I appreciate the series more than Nick does, but he's right in the sense that the first one, for a lot of people, is kind of a boring movie. I like it because I like the story, but it seems like a lot of these horror movies from the 80s, it's the same thing where like the supposed icon from that movie is like in it for 2 minutes total.
Yeah.
2-3 minutes. You get Cenobites for like a hot second at the beginning and at the end, and then after that, it's pretty much it's Frank and the mom there, the lady. She's the real bad guy. So like most of the movie is just
Julia.
Jeez, I can't think of her name, but yeah. So like I can get where people are like, I don't understand. Like, why is what is so special about Pinhead? It is until you get to the later movies in the series where it kind of goes off the rails and it's insane and there's just not so shit happening. And that's kind of where I think people are like, oh, sick, it's going to be Hellraiser. But it's like, if you actually know the story and understand what it's based on, it doesn't work as a haunted house. But because you can take a lot of those goofy ass sequels and throw a bunch of crazy literal shit at the wall and make it nasty and gross and smelly like the Terrifier house, it's going to work. I don't have an attachment to the character, I think, like Nick, in a lot of the ways, only because I like the story, but it's less because of Pinhead and more because I like Clive Barker. I like the way he thinks. I like the stories that he creates, the images that he creates, and with that, and plus, it's another house where I'm like, I don't know how they even got this greenlit. To be honest with you, I really don't, because Hellraiser doesn't exactly, like, it's not a mainstream idea. A lot of the stuff that they talk, a lot of the stuff that it's based on, a lot of the themes are very, very dark and adult. And I'm surprised that they went this route.
Yeah.
They'll make it work. It'll work, obviously. But it just, to me, I'm surprised that this is something they chose. And again, I think it's because everyone's like excited because they like Pinhead. They like the way he looks. They like the Cenobites. Those are really cool. But they don't talk about the fact that it's all about like sadomasochism and pain and pleasure and S&M and sex and nudity and violence. And it's really weird. People get really attached to things that, like, to me, it's like kind of strange to get that attached to. But that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah. I think Hellraiser is going to share a lot of fans with Nightmare Fuel.
Probably.
Number 6 for me. Again, this one might be another controversial pick. Number 6 for me, Sinners. I'm excited, but not as excited as these originals, unfortunately. IPs, I've finally learned my lesson after about 6 or 7 years putting IPs below the originals just because of what they are allowed to do and what not to do. But Sinners makes me a little nervous. It really does. I need to see this play out as a house before I can say without a shadow of a doubt it's going to be top tier. The movie is top tier. It's an all-timer for me. Obviously, it's swept at the Oscars, a bunch of award nominations as well. It's a great, great movie. However, what I think they're going to pull from the movie is a smaller part of the movie. And yes, a part of the movie that I do enjoy, but the biggest part of the movies I enjoy is the storyline, which is, again, not something that will really play out too much. So my fear is that it is completely in Club Juke and it is a whole bunch of booholes of vampires that are characters from the movie. That is my fear, that it will become redundant, and that makes me nervous. But my love for the music, the characters, the setting, it puts it up to number 6. So I still think that's a fair spot, kind of smack dab in the middle, while still tempering my expectations. I do realize with these IPs, I have my guard up a lot. I really need to be wowed by IPs before I can justifiably say they're going to overtake some of these originals for me, because I have a lot of faith in the departments that obviously do all the houses, but originals in particular, it's their story. They don't have to seek permission. They can just do what they want. So that's why Sinners for me, number 6, but it is my second highest ranked IP. So,
yep.
Let's get into our top 5 now. So Jamie, number 5.
Not too far off from you, Nick. Rounding up my number 5, we have Sinners.
Okay.
Kind of the same things you just said. I don't want to talk too much on it and be too repetitive, but I do think that this house has the opportunity of being very scenic and very story-driven. I hope that that's executed well enough that we could see that throughout the house, because there is some really good scenes that we could be used. I do think that it has the possibility, like you said, Nick, kind of just being mainly in the juke joint and kind of those bigger, like, longer scenes, I guess. I hope that's not the case, but I think my biggest thing was this being very similar to Darkest Steel, which we saw not too many years ago, which I very much enjoyed as a house, but is it too similar and too soon for me? I guess that's the thing. And even my first time seeing this movie, it was a little long for me, so it was hard for me to kind of sit through and really get into it, enjoy it. But the more times that I've seen it now, I really do like it. And it's a fantastic movie. It's sad, heartbreaking, beautiful, gory in parts, but There was always something more that I wanted, I guess, out of Sinners, and I guess it was just that last 45 minutes when we do still have that, like, story-driven, inspirational story, but with the gore and the vampires. So we'll just see. I just think that this house has too many possibilities to either work or not work, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is a tough part of the list. Like, I feel like you have your bottom two, you have your top two or top three. Everything else in the middle kind of can be shuffled around a little bit. It's kind of hard. I know I had a hard time narrowing down my, like, 3 through 7, 4 through 7. So this is a tricky part of the list. So,
yeah.
Seamus, you're number 5.
Yeah, my number 5 is Jack and Oddfellow Chaos on Control. It's my second original. Obviously, it's, Jack and Oddfellow, so we know it's going to be good. I'm just a little, less hyped on it than I am in the other ones. It's really why it's at 5. I think the other originals are just going to be that much better. But yeah, I think it'll work. I think it's going to be much like the Oddfellow house. I think it's going to be wacky and colorful and very clown circus themed, sideshow themed. So it's going to kind of fit the whole vibe of the event. But hopefully they do enough different in the house that it doesn't feel like just a rehash of the scare zones, which I'm a little worried about. But otherwise, it'll be nice to kind of see the origins of these two characters as far as like, where they both kind of came from and kind of got them to where they are. Obviously, we got a little bit of that with Oddfellow, but I think we're going to get more of a continuation of that story. So yeah, I'm excited to see it in that sense.
Yeah, definitely a sequel of sorts, I guess. Kind of a continuation of that one. So my number 5, I'm surprised it did make it this high. Cybergoria. I'm not necessarily like a big, deep sci-fi like kind of person, but this has me very intrigued. And because of the location, this is at Fast and Furious. I do think out of all of these houses, it's maybe one of 2 that probably realistically could have worked in that location. So I think they are playing to their advantage a little bit. Now, I don't know exactly what the house is going to look like, but I think they're being very smart with this decision of putting it there, because I think this house, everything we know about it, can fit there. I don't think this needed a soundstage. I don't think this needed a tent or a sprung tent. I think this is a good spot for it. I don't know what direction this thing's going to go. I don't know if it's going to be that, like, the image is very dark and red and sci-fi gory, like, and dingy. I'm probably thinking it's going to be like that. But on the flip side, I'm also hoping that maybe there's some, like, diversity in the cleanliness, I guess, because I almost want to see like super bright lights, like fluorescent, like clean, like almost like hospital style, like futuristic hospital style mixed with like Wall-E, like that, like bright, like welcome to BB's, the future of tomorrow or whatever. It's just, and then it like goes downhill, and then you see like the inner workings of this seemingly corrupt company run by the cyborgs. So, for somebody that didn't necessarily love the cyborgs in Slaughter Cinema 2, this is pretty high, I'd say, on my list. But I got faith in the original department. This might be a little sleeper hit. This could be a sleeper house. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Yeah. Literally, them putting you to sleep in cryogenically frozen pods. But, that's besides the point. So, Jamie, we are now in our top 4. So what is your number 4 for the houses?
For my number 4, we get another IP, and that is going to be Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness. Yes. Even though I might not be the biggest Ozzy fan per se, I do like his music. I like Black Sabbath's music. I'm familiar with Ozzy. The show back in the day was hilarious. Always love seeing those clips pop up on Instagram Reels and whatnot. I gotta watch it again. I think this is, I love whenever we do a music house in general. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of The Weeknd, I ended up loving the house. I thought it was very fun. It's always fun to have musics and I guess songs that incorporated in a house. It kind of enhances the experience for me, and I know it does for many others as well. Ozzy Osbourne has been such a big name in the music scene, and I guess that like gothic realm that I think his presence fits perfectly with the event and could translate well into a house. I know we've talked about it before and with like our homework episodes and stuff, but I guess I'm just really curious and excited to see the route that they take with this, if they just go by his different albums, if it's going to be kind of anthology style, what we'll be seeing. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun house. I hope the queue has music playing like we saw with The Weeknd, and I hope it's a party every time we go through it, because I know that's what he'd want.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let's see. My number 4. I guess I'm the highest on this one. I got Sinners. I do think it is going to be very much like Darkest Deal. I don't think it'll be a direct copy or anything like that. But I do think that if people do have concerns, I think you have a right to be concerned. I think it is going to feel a lot like it. But for me, it's okay because I liked that house. I thought that house was good. I just want more of the music side of things. And then obviously the biggest concern, is the fact, like, will it take place in just the juke joint, or are we going to get different areas, from the movie that maybe fit a little bit more? And I guess if it is just a juke joint, it will kind of fall a little bit on my list. If it is, like Nick said, just a bunch of boo holes with, lookalikes from the movie, I think that would also make it fall a little bit. But I have faith that they'll take a lot more than we're expecting from the movie and really turn it into something well. Plus, with the music scene and the varying types of music, the very, very, very varied styles of music, not just the blues, not just the Delta blues type stuff. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm hopeful that it's another IP hit, but who knows? I guess we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah. Well, my number 4, right on with Jamie. I believe this is my Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness, my last IP. I think I'm judging this because, again, I am not the biggest Ozzy fan, but I'm judging this based off of more Ozzy's style. If there was an original house this year that was like classic gothic vibes, like, I think that would be towards the top of everybody's lists. And that's how I'm viewing this house. This is kind of, it's an IP, but I'm kind of viewing it as an original alongside what will inevitably be a banger soundtrack. Like Jamie said, the music houses, they get you going. It's fun. It might not be, and it doesn't have to be. This can be a house that's not scary. I don't want to say no scares, but like, this is a house that could be loud, fun, classic. That's what could be the success of this house. As long as people are vibing, having fun, the scenery is cool, and it's like that classic gothic, we're talking, bats, crosses, graveyard, like just that the basics, the DNA of horror is what could be in this house. And that's what really gets me excited. And it's funny being not an Ozzy fan and this being literally my highest IP.
Right.
And not to say I'm not an Ozzy fan, because I don't dislike him, but I'm not a frequent listener of Ozzy. So that's just, it is what it is. But I think this house has the chance to be up there with WWE. Like, I think that's a similar house to kind of, by parallel, like what we're dealing with in the real world stances of this house and how it came to be. I know it's probably not a true 1-for-1 comparison. I'm curious what this will be like, but maybe a Graveyard Game style vibe where it's like that classic horror, gothic, something like that. It's just, I think that has the ability to replicate some of those really cool, really innate basics, the blocks of Horror Nights. So I'm excited to see what this is all about.
Yep.
So Jamie, you're number 3.
Excuse me, I had to clear my throat before this one. Rounding out my top 3, we have at number 3, Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control. Woo! Original in my top 3. Exciting. Yeah, like I said before, I'm a big Jack the Clown fan. Don't care what anyone says, I'll never get tired of seeing him. I'm finally glad that we get to see this Jack and Oddfellow kind of face-off house that everyone had been talking about that we wanted to see. It's finally coming to fruition. I think it's going to be a very colorful, fun, wacky house. I would love for it to be in 3D. I think that would really just be the cherry on top for this one if we could bring that back. But like we kind of talked before, I think it'll be fun to like go into the Oddverse. Hopefully we see that like spinning room, tube room that we saw like in the Beetlejuice house. I think there's a lot of fun interactive things that we could possibly see for the guests. Overall, I think it's just going to be a really good time, and it's going to be just, like I said, really cool and neat to see Jack and Oddfellow in this big face-off and kind of get to see more of their backstory, I guess, that some people may not be familiar with, especially with Oddfellow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, well, down to top 3.
Yep.
And my number 3 is Invasion Alien Abduction because it sounds like it's right up my alley. I'm hoping that it's more funny than it is serious. I know that it sounds like people are talking about it being like scary more so than funny, but I'm hoping for that 50s camp like we got with Yeti or like we got with Bugs, but just have it to do with, Mars attacks. Little green men. That's what I want. I just want like cows and aliens and people like farmers getting terrorized by aliens. Like, I'm ready to go. Now, if it does go the scary route, I guess we'll judge it when it happens and kind of see what happens. They could surprise me and it actually make it pretty good, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, my number 3. I'm kind of locked in right now with Jamie. Number 3, Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control. I'm really excited to see he's back. This is something that we've been kind of sitting on since we saw Oddfellow that first time. We're like, all right, well, 35 is kind of around the corner. That makes the most logical sense as to when we bring him back to pair up against Jack. Obviously, their stories have been intertwined since the inception of both Jack and Oddfellow. I think this is going to be a very wacky house. I don't know if it's going to necessarily have to make sense. I think it's going to be an absolute neck turner. You're going to always be looking around at different, kind of like how Oddfellows was. Oddfellows circus tent was just so packed with crap, and there was just characters popping out from everywhere. There was a lot of variety. There was a lot of just misdirection, and I'm hoping that this is something that's similar. This also has a lot of opportunities of fun little Easter eggs. You never know if there's a house that's Jack and Oddfellow in the quote unquote Oddverse, the door's wide open. This is an MCU moment of multiverse status where it's like nobody is necessarily off the table. So that first or second run through where I'm like, all right, what's next? I can't wait to see like what they actually concocted inside this thing. This is clearly the baby of the event. This is what they're going to kind of put I don't want to say all their eggs in the basket, but this is going to take a lot of care and dedication from the teams that were behind this house, because if, it's Jack. You can't do anything that's Jack that's not up to par, whether we are ready to move on or not. He is still here. He is still clearly the face of HHN. And we'll see if he remains the face of HHN after this house. Maybe they kill him off. I don't know. This is it's gonna be a wacky ride. I am a little bit disappointed it wasn't literally Civil War. It does seem like they're like, oh, well, they're going to work together because together they're more powerful. It's kind of like, I hope that goes poorly. I hope they decide to, duke it out with one another, because that's kind of what's been imprinted in my mind since day one. It seems weird that they would be like, actually, now they're friends. They both kind of killed each other at some point in their varying timelines, but now they've come together and now they're buddy. So I hope that quickly changes. I don't see either character being teamed up forever. They seem both like lead men. I don't know if you can have a Guns N' Roses with 2 Axl Roses. That doesn't really work too much. So Jamie, top 2, again, much like the last time. This will obviously reveal your number 1, but unless you're keeping track at home, which I'm on the episode and I'm not even keeping track of what people have. I don't remember what's still on the board for people. So Jamie, you're number 2.
My number 2 is going to be none other than Hellraiser.
Oh, shit. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot you did not have that off yet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know Nick and Seamus have already talked about Hellraiser, but for what it is, I'm very excited for this IP to finally be at the event. Even though I wouldn't per se, I'm the hugest Hellraiser franchise fan or Pinhead fan. I think he is just such an iconic character in horror. I think that the house, from kind of doing the HHN homework episodes and kind of reveling in all that is these first 3 movies, I've been kind of trying to put pieces together of how I think this could work in a house. And in Hellraiser 2, we kind of see more of that, like, in the labyrinth, I guess, that, like, in when you're in hell, whatever, but it's very, like, dreamy-esque and stone and walls and different corridors and whatnot, and just the way that it's set up, seeing that scene and that in that film specifically, I think that this could work for a house. And just with the gore and, like Nick said, the practical effects from the first one, I know is a little bit boring, but I just think that this could translate really well into a house. I'm glad that it's something we haven't had at the event before compared to doing another Texas Chainsaw or another Halloween or something like that. So for what it is, I'm very, very excited to be seeing Hellraiser in person, and I hope the house can live up to the movies, because I know there's a lot of people who are very big fans of Pinhead and of this franchise.
Yep. It's definitely been asked about for a long time.
Yeah.
All right, Seamus, you're number 2.
Yeah, my number 2 is something that'll make Jamie happy. It is H&R Blood and Guts, Halloween Fright-tacular. I obviously didn't get a chance to do the original H&R Blood and Guts from however many years ago, but he does sound like someone who is right up my alley. So I'm super excited to kind of learn about the character, see him in his own element. And from what I gathered during the Cary, Ohio house, I did enjoy it. So I think he's going to probably pleasantly surprise me. Potentially be my favorite house of the year. We'll see.
Yep. Yeah, I am now in lockstep with Seamus. My number 2, HR Blood and Guts, a Halloween Fright-tacular. This has all the makings of, like, everything I'd want. Classic Halloween, kind of montage-y, like, segmented house. I know that they have released some ideas of stuff that there's going to be in there. I know there was mention of, like, a Halloween monster-themed tiki party style room. As far as the other stuff, I've kind of already forgotten what else was mentioned in it. We're this close now to the event. I don't really want to look deeper into what is out there in terms of pictures from either press releases or tours or what have you. But I'm excited. Again, I didn't get to see HR Blood and Guts at the event as its own standalone with Holidays of Horror, but I did get to see him briefly in Welcome to Scary, and that was just a little taste. You know, that was one room. It's nothing to write home about. So I think this is, you know, kind of like along the lines of Slaughter Cinema, where they have these really wacky, fun ideas that maybe aren't ready or they're not able to be fleshed out to full houses. And this is about as good of a taste as we can get, a little sample size of a bunch of, you know, random hodgepodgey thrown against the wall ideas that maybe if they were fleshed out could make great houses. But this is like the sampler, right? If you really are into something, let it be known, because that's how you get other houses. You know, that's how we got stuff like Hatchet and Chains and, you know, the Yeti franchise kind of spawning from the, you know, Swamp Yeti from Slaughter Cinema 1. So let it be known what you like. They listen. So the fact that they are actually bringing him back does surprise me, because it did feel like he was almost a character that was on the shelf for so long that maybe we don't go back to, you know, like there's a couple people like that where it's like, are we going to get a meaty, you know, another Meats house? I don't know. It's been on the shelf for so long. You're people like Cindy and Eddie, you know, are they going to get their time to shine? Kind of. You know, Cindy's got the zone this year, but HR was something that we've always wanted, and it does it's kind of a pinch me moment where it's like, wow, shit, they did it. They actually brought him back. He got the call up. Good for him. So I'm very, very excited to see what Larry's been up to all these years. So our number ones. So Jamie, what is your number 1 most hyped hyped house for HHN35?
Yes. Well, if you guys listening have been paying attention, There's no surprise that this was going to be my number one, but it is surprising because it's an original house and not an IP, and it's been quite some time since an original has been number one on my list. And that is going to be, as the boys just discussed, HR Blood and Guts Halloween Spooktacular. Can't believe he's back. Just like Nick said, it's been 15 years since we've seen this guy. Never thought I'd see the day where I'd be able to see him again. I'm very fortunate that I got to see the original house, and I enjoyed it very much. I was a little bit older, so not as big of a scaredy cat then, so I did get to enjoy this one. But yeah, like I said, it's very unique to see a character like him come back. I'm a big fan of like films, I guess I know this is an original house, but films, I guess, that represent like fictional TV and horror. So I love the idea of that like fictional TV station, news station, all that kind of stuff mixed with this like Halloween, like segmented show. I love an anthology style house like we talked about with Slaughter Cinema and everything. I'm really excited. I know Nick had mentioned the tiki room style and stuff like that. This, I almost forced myself not to, but one of our buddies, Aiden at Dreamport, had posted a couple photos from the tour.
Of course you looked.
And I specifically messaged him and was like, I'm very debated. This is the only house I wanted to look at because I can't wait and I'm very curious. And he always takes very nice pictures without spoiling too much. So I did peek through a couple of them. And I can say that I'm very, very excited for this house, even though I already knew this was going to be number one on my list when it got announced. Yeah, I can't wait to have a fun, spooky time with HR Blood and Guts, and I think it's really cool that it was mentioned that for the Q video, that they have the original actor playing him too, that
Very
they had
cool.
back from 2011. So I think that's really, really neat that he gets to reprise his role. And yeah, I can't wait to go back to WKMB Studios and see him again in all its glory. And I'm glad for those who haven't gotten to see him before, because I think everyone's going to have a really fun time in this house.
Well, it's our number two, and number one most hyped house. So, Larry, don't let us down.
Please.
Yeah, it's true. And then my number one is Cybergoria. I think this house is right up my alley. I mean, this is exactly what I want. I love sci-fi. I love weird sci-fi too. Like, it's not just like your traditional like aliens versus, humans, or whatever. It's something that's different. It's cyborgs. It's zombies. It's, people turning other humans into cyborgs. I'm just excited. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I don't know what it is, but if it's anything like Zomboids from whatever the hell that one was, Zomboids,
Slaughter Cinema 2,
Slaughter Cinema, I think that I'm gonna be right on board. I love how artistic they can get with it, how unique they can get with the costuming. So I'm excited to see what they pull off with it.
Yeah, that's crept up my list. I knew this was a Seamus house as soon as it was announced. Had Seamus written all over it. Well, my number one, if you are also paying attention, we actually all have different number ones, which is exciting. And they're all originals. Weird. That'll probably never happen again on Fear and Beer with Jamie being on here. IPs. Number one, Invasion, Alien Abduction. I can't wait for this. I know Seamus wants the campy. I want the scary. Because and I don't dislike the campy stuff. Like, I love campy stuff too. But I've sort of seen like their campy aliens in Scare Zone twice now, previous years, because they made a small appearance at Eddie's Lights Camera Action, as well as their Invasion Scare Zone, which is fun. I do enjoy that as well. But for it to solidify and stay at my number one, I want that scary, like, oh shit, they're coming, like the house is shaking, the beams are flashing, like that unknown. I can't wait. And that farm aesthetic too is always going to hit for me, that rural, like, I hope this is a very dark house. I hope it's loud. It's very, I watched War of the Worlds the other day just to kind of hype myself up a little bit, just hoping that it's something similar where it's like,
surprised you didn't watch Signs.
I will probably be watching that before the event starts. That's for sure. That'll probably be one of my kickoff movies. But this, Signs is played a big role in my upcoming in my upbringing in my life. So I don't know. It just speaks to me. I just need this to hit. I really do. They did a alien style house at Howl-O-Scream a couple years ago, or a couple times now, and I had a lot of fun in it. And I hope to see what Horror Nights can do with this alien style thing. It is weird, the name. Like, it's weird that they chose to still call it Invasion Alien Abduction when it doesn't seemingly have anything to do with the Invasion Scare Zone. I maybe would have altered the name a little bit, but man, I don't know what it is about this, but I'm seeing all-timer on this list right here. I think this is going to be one that people are talking about. I can't wait for this thing. If you heard my hot takes, I told you how much how highly I look forward to this. So no surprise there, I don't think. So that rounds out our hype list. So again, like with the scare zones, let's just run through these really quick again. So Jamie, your house is 10 through 1.
Excuse me. All right, starting at number 10, we got Madlands Caged Cannibals. Number 9, we have Evil Dead Burn. Number 8, we have Invasion Alien Abduction. Sorry, Nick. Number 7, we have Cybergoria. Number 6, Stranger Things 5. Number 5, Sinners. Number 4, Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness. Am I getting that right? Is that the name of the house?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. Number 3, Jack and Oddfellow Chaos and Control. Number 2, Hellraiser. And number 1, HR Blood and Guts, Halloween Spooktacular.
All right.
Yeah, and then my 10 is Madlands Caged Cannibals, Evil Dead Burn at 9, Stranger Things 5 at 8, Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness at 7, Hellraiser at 6, Jack and Oddfellow Chaos and Control at 5, Sinners at 4, Invasion at 3, H&R Blood and Guts at 2, and Cybergoria is rounding out at number 1.
All right, in my list, number 10, Evil Dead Burn. You know it's at the bottom. Number 9, Stranger Things 5. Number 8, Madland Cave Cannibals. Number 7 is Hellraiser. Number 6 is Sinners. Number 5, Cybergoria. Number 4, Ozzy Osbourne. Number 3, Jack and Oddfellow. Number 2, the old HR Blood and Guts. And number 1, the best house of all time, Invasion Alien Abduction. A little bit more varied on the houses, I'd say. Not too crazy. I think we're all pretty similar on HR Blood and Guts, all similar on Stranger Things, Evil Dead, Madlands, but that middle portion of the list is really where it gets a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
I will say
all over the place.
Yeah, what's crazy, Nick, is that you have Stranger Things lower than Madlands. That's crazy.
No.
After hearing you
time.
read it again, I was like, wow. Okay.
No, it's only by one spot, and this is the 4th time I've seen Stranger Things. This is the first time I'm going to see whatever is in Madlands. So
that's great.
If it can replicate anything of Descendants of Destruction, it'll move up.
Mind you, Nick's the OG Stranger Things fan. He's the reason I started watching Stranger Things.
I also didn't love the last season, so like.
And you're gonna do him like that for the cannibals? Wow.
Yeah, make a better season. Make the houses better. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, hopefully you'll.
I don't know.
Hopefully you'll suck a freaking fat one, Nick.
You're gonna
Stranger Things
suck
house.
a fat one, Derek, dipshit. That's probably the only reason why I got to number 9 and not number 10. This fucking little dipshit Derek's gonna be in there.
All I keep hearing Nick saying, hyped up for dipshit Derek, and they leave him in the dust.
If they don't give me dipshit Derek saying suck my fat one, this will be house number 10 on my final rankings.
Jeez.
I'm putting it out there. Don't do me like
Louise.
that. Do not do me like that. All right. Well, that wraps up our hype lists, but we're not done with lists just yet. Tune in tomorrow for our finale for the Podathon, where we mash up our hype lists with our friends Duff and Jess from HHN35, Matt and Hunter from the Catacombs of Halloween Horror Nights, and Brady and Tim from Stay and Scream podcast. We're going to average everybody's lists, and we actually also included Ash and Liz's lists as well in the rankings. So we have like a full HHN podcast world master hype list. And, we're going to argue about why we are right and why everybody else is wrong. It is going to be a finale for the ages. I think we clocked it in at just around 3 hours.
Oh my God,
really push you through.
So it's a long ass episode.
It was a long episode.
So you can start listening at 9 a.m. and you'll be in Stay and Scream when it finishes. How about that? We're helping you get through the day. So we will see you again tomorrow for our finale episode. Thank you so much for tuning in with this Podathon for us. Until next time, which will be tomorrow, which will be the day we actually step foot into the Infernal Carnival of Nightmares for the very first time. Can't fucking wait.
Yes, sir.
This is Nick.
This is dipshit Seamus.
This is Jamie. See you in the fog.
Suck a fat one. Thank you for listening to another episode of Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on whatever streaming platform you are listening to us on. You can find us on all of our socials at Fear and Beer Pod.